Have you ever wondered if some animals that scientists say are extinct are actually still alive? The Amazon rainforest is huge, bigger than 5 million square kilometers. And get this, more than 90% of it has never even been explored. That means almost anything could be hiding down there right now. Today, I'm going to show you 7 extinct animals that might still be living deep in the Amazon. Some might be lurking under the water, big enough to flip a boat. Others could be stalking the jungle floor with claws and teeth built to kill, and some of these will blow your mind. Number 7. Titanoboa, starting with the largest snake that ever lived. When the first piece of it turned up in a Colombian coal mine, scientists labeled the bone a crocodile and set it aside. They were wrong. It was a single chunk of backbone from a serpent so enormous it rewrote the record books. We call it Titanoboa. Stretched out, it ran longer than a school bus, around 40 feet of snake. At its thick middle, it stood as tall as your waist, a moving wall of muscle that squeezed its prey to death instead of biting it. It ruled the swamps of northern South America about 58 million years ago, when this region ran even hotter than today. That heat is what killed it. Titanoboa was cold-blooded, so it needed a furnace of a planet to grow so vast. As the world slowly cooled, the giant couldn't keep its body running, and the species died out. But the rivers it once owned are still here, and people along the Amazon still tell of a serpent so huge that boatmen blow a horn before entering certain black channels, in case something underneath answers back. Number 6. Purosaurus. 10 million years ago, the Amazon flowed the wrong way. Most of western South America wasn't rainforest back then. It was a single swamp the size of a small sea, and it belonged to a monster. Meet Purosaurus, the largest caiman that ever lived. A caiman is a stocky cousin of the alligator, but this one grew as long as a city bus and weighed more than a bull elephant. Its jaws snapped shut with roughly 4 times the force of the strongest crocodile alive today. Nothing in that water was safe. It ate giant turtles, car-sized rodents, even ground sloths. So what kills a creature like that? Not a bigger hunter, a landscape. As the Andes Mountains rose to the west, they slowly drained that endless swamp and carved out the Amazon River we know now. The wetland that fed an 8-ton predator dried up, so Purosaurus starved into extinction. Yet the deep, black water lakes it left behind are barely explored. The Amazon's top predator today is the black caiman, and the largest one ever measured stretched almost 19 feet. Local fishermen swear they've seen bigger out in the flooded forest. Much bigger, the kind of shadow that makes you cut the motor and drift very quietly the other way. Number 5. Smilodon populator. It was not a tiger. The famous saber-toothed tiger wasn't even a close relative of any cat alive today. Its branch of the family split off more than 20 million years ago, and the largest one of all prowled South America. Its name is Smilodon populator, which roughly means the destroyer. It was the biggest saber-toothed cat ever dug up, heavier than any lion alive now, with front legs built like a wrestler's. Its 2 curved fangs grew longer than your whole hand, almost a foot of bone shaped for stabbing. This cat didn't run prey down. It waited, ambushed slow giants like the ground sloth, and pinned them with raw strength. Here's the part people miss. It didn't die out with the dinosaurs. Smilodon was still hunting only about 10,000 years ago, late enough that the first humans in South America shared its forests. Then the huge, slow animals it lived on disappeared, so a hunter built for big prey had nothing left to catch. It was gone too, but high in the misty cloud forests, hunters still describe a strange cat, jaguar-sized, short-tailed, with fangs too long to hide. One Pamon tracker swore he watched one bend to drink from a forest pool. He had a name for it that wasn't jaguar. Hold that thought for number 4. Number 4. Megatherium. Here's the strange part. This monster wasn't found in a river. It was found in a dusty drawer. A jawbone sat forgotten in an Argentine museum for almost 80 years, until a scientist opened it in the 1980s and realized he was holding the missing link between 2 of the world's weirdest fish. They named it Megatherium. It lived 8 to 10 million years ago, and it was no normal piranha. Picture a piranha grown to 3 feet long, the size of a child, but with a bite that punched far above its weight. Pound for pound, its jaws crushed harder than a T-Rex. Its teeth sat in a creepy zigzag row, halfway between the flesh-slicing fangs of today's piranhas and the nut-crushing molars of their plant-eating cousins. So it could shear and crush, which means almost nothing in the water was safe from it. But here's the part that should make you paws. We only have its jaw. We have never found the rest of its body. Therefore, we don't truly know how big this thing got or what its final form looked like. And its direct descendants? They still swim the Amazon today, in murky water no diver can see through. So if a bigger cousin were down there in the black depths, how would anyone ever know? Number 3, terror bird. A cattle rancher in Colombia spent 20 years not knowing he owned a monster. He'd pulled a single leg bone from his land while fixing a fence, and it sat ignored until 2023, when scientists scanned it and froze. It belonged to the largest terror bird ever found. These were 9-foot killers that ran down prey on 2 legs, finishing it with a hooked beak built to shatter bone. Most stood waist-high to head-high on a person, but this Colombian giant towered over 8 feet and weighed more than 2 grown men. Therefore, it sat at the very top of its world. But even it wasn't untouchable. That same leg bone carried bite marks from a 30-foot crocodile relative, proof these titans still had enemies. For 60 million years, terror birds ruled South America, then slowly faded as the land bridge to the north let new hunters flood in, or so the textbooks say. Because here's what unsettles me. This new species hid in plain sight for 2 decades inside one bone, and it was found at the northern edge of the continent, the doorway to the Amazon. Most of that rainforest has never felt a human footstep. A bird built to sprint through open ground and ambush from cover would vanish in there, so could one still be running? Number 2, Dodicurus. Scientists have found ancient battle scars, and they don't make sense unless this creature is real. Dodicurus was a living tank, a relative of the armadillo blown up to the size of a small car. It wore a dome of bone over 1,000 armor plates thick, and its head had its own bony helmet. But the armor wasn't even the scary part. Its tail ended in a spiked club that weighed as much as a grown man, up to 143 pounds of bone and spikes. Studies found a sweet spot near the tip, the exact place that delivers the hardest hit, the same physics a baseball bat uses. Therefore, this was a precision weapon, not just a lump. We know it swung hard because some fossil shells carry cracked dents that match a club strike perfectly. These giants died out around 10,000 years ago, but then something strange surfaced. In 2016, DNA proved Dodicurus wasn't just armadillo-like. It was a true giant armadillo, and its closest living cousins still walk the Amazon right now. So rare and so shy that most locals never see one in a lifetime. They dig, they hide, they move at night. So if the small ones vanish that easily, could a bigger armored ghost still be down there, hidden in plain sight? Number 1, Megatherium. Deep under southern Brazil are tunnels so big you could walk through them standing up, and no human dug them. Their walls are raked with claw marks longer than your hand. They're called paleo burrows, and the prime suspect is a beast that supposedly vanished long ago. Megatherium, the giant ground sloth. Forget the slow, cute sloth in the trees. This one stood 20 feet tall on its hind legs and weighed around 4 tons, as heavy as an elephant. Its claws were longer than your forearm and could rip a tree apart. We long assumed it only ate plants, but newer chemistry tests on related sloths hint some may have eaten meat too, which makes the picture darker. Humans definitely met this thing because we've found its bones marked with butcher cuts. Therefore, people hunted it and maybe helped end it around 10,000 years ago. But those tunnels change everything. A creature that carved highways underground wasn't just wandering the surface, it was building hidden worlds beneath it. And the Amazon, over 2 million square miles of it, barely mapped, sits right next door to where those burrows were dug. So if a 4-ton digger still survived down there, in tunnels we haven't found yet, who would ever hear it breathing? So that's 7 animals we thought were gone for good. But look closer. None of them got hunted away. The world around them just changed, and the Amazon still hasn't stopped changing. It's huge. Most of it no human has ever walked through. So who really knows what's still down there? If this creeped you out, hit subscribe. We're a small channel trying to hit 50 subs, and every single one helps a ton. See you in the next one.